How do you regulate your nervous system? What to do when you're anxious, depressed, how to deal with your inner space. There are a lot of questions like that, so this is my response to your requests. In order for us to know how to regulate our nervous system, we need to know what we're regulating. So if anyone tells you, this is the way to regulate your nervous system, this is what you need to be doing, that's not true, because it's not true for you. That's why a lot of people apply different methodologies and different procedures and structures to their protocols, right? And it's not working because it's not designed for your nervous system. It's not aligned with where your nervous system is. The following information and the knowledge and the wisdom that you hold is the reason why I left mental health profession. As soon as I have learned this and really went deep into this information, I left the profession because that's all you need to know. And this is why people struggle. This is why your mental health is in pieces and really shaky, because you don't understand what sort of wisdom your nervous system holds. So buckle up. Nervous system for beginners. Your nervous system is your inner space, holds your inner space, produces your inner space. And the best way to think of your nervous system is to think of it as electricity and plumbing in a house. So imagine your inner space being a house. Your body is like the walls of the house, your outer body, your skin, and your nervous system is like electricity and plumbing in one. So that's very important for you to know. Imagine all those wirings and piping throughout your body, because your nervous system is absolutely everywhere, right? It controls every single function, life function of your body. And it's by design, it's unconscious. So you have no say how it operates. Think about how much thought you put into how your heart beats, your digestion, all the processes that go on 24/7 within your body. You have absolutely no clue. You put no thought into this. So just like in the house, we just put the light on, right? And the only way we know that something is not working is when the light doesn't go on when we switch it on, right? Same with the plumbing. The only way we know that something is wrong is when we can't flush the toilet, so it gets clogged up. So that's the best metaphor I could find. This is not the first time that metaphor is being used. I sort of came up with it along the way. It doesn't really matter. So it's your inner space. Imagine your inner space as a house, and you're the owner of this house. And up until today, probably you haven't been aware. We are being obsessed with the brain. It's all about rewiring your brain, right? Yes, but the brain is only part of the story. The rational and the logical brain is only part of the story, because it's only part of the nervous system. Because your nervous system is absolutely everywhere, right? It's all the wires, all the nerves are intertwined with your muscles, with every organ you hold. And we're going to talk about one specific element of that, of your body in a minute. But just so you know, and you need to really get that onto your hard drive in your brain, that your nervous system is everywhere. Absolutely everywhere, right? It spreads all over your body, and that's the most important thing. And again, in order for us to know how to regulate it, what are the entry points to your nervous system, you need to know how it operates. And you need to know the basic elements. And this is what I teach in my course, like in a much deeper way. But it's absolutely everywhere. okay? And the brain is only part of the story. The main elements of the central nervous system that are really relevant for your mental health, for your psychological health, for your emotional health is, first of all, the vagus nerve. You can obviously research that for yourself. This is a nerve that is called a wanderer nerve, and it goes along your spine. It starts at the bottom of your brain, more or less, obviously, and it goes along your spine, it goes into your legs. And one of the biggest misconceptions is that we think that we send the information from your brain into your body. So you have a thought and you do it. Yes, that's part of the mechanics behind that. But think about when you are hungry. Think about when you are cold. Is more like your body sends the information to your brain. So your body is the feeler and your brain is a thinker. That's the best way of thinking about it, right? Conceptualizing it. So all the processes, I mean, it's very difficult to put percentage on it, so I'm not going to. But when it comes to your mental health and the understanding of the nervous system, the best way to think about it is like majority of the processes when it comes to your nervous system happen from your body into your brain, and your vagus nerve is the main messenger. So your body is feeling stuff and it sends into the brain, right? So that's the information. This is how the information is being sent into your brain, and it happens through biochemistry, all the liquids, electricity, and that's very important to remember that your body is the boss, that your body, not your brain, unless you really train yourself and go really deep into this. But for majority of people, including yourself and including me, the body is the boss and the nervous system is the boss. It's not the logical brain. Bottom up process. Okay, that's a very important thing to remember, because as I said, everyone thinks that, oh, I just have a thought and I do it. No, it's the body has a feeling and then you act on the feeling. For majority of us, the process is unconscious. So that's really important, okay? When it comes to your inner house, in a home, which you have been abandoning and you have not been present in, the way you think about your mind is as a kitchen plus living space. In the house. This is where you're doing all the thinking. This is where you're doing all the analyzing. This is where you're doing all the overthinking. Just like in the house, you know, the kitchen is the heart of the house. The kitchen is where everything happens, where you eat and spend a lot of the times, obviously plus the living space, right? And that's very often, in today's world, that's very often one space. So that's the main framework that I teach in my course, but this is for you to understand that and to really get it and really sort of get it into your awareness, because by definition and by design the nervous system is unconscious, and I do think that your nervous system is the unconscious part of your psyche, right? So a lot goes on in there, and when we think about a house, your unconscious is like a basement. Right? Your unconscious part of the brain. Unconscious. So the nervous system, as I said, is like a feeler. It's like a threat detection machine. That's an evolutionary feature. So you have nothing to do with that. That's the animal part of you. So it feels and it scans your environment. And the coolest feature of this technology is what's called neuroception. Which is perception of the nervous system. Right? So there you are, going around your day, like being somewhere else and thinking about the show or watching something, etc., while your body is constantly scanning your environment. Imagine having eyes, ears, and feelers all over your body. That's why a lot of people would say that they had a feeling or they had intuition, right? So that's all the nervous system talking. Or they knew before something happened, because your body always knows before your mind does. Because your body, it takes the sensory information, takes the emotional information and scans the environment. And for people who grew up in houses around adults who were unsafe, you are a master scanner. You are the emotional regulator, which is for another piece of content and another sort of dive. But that's the body is doing all the work. So your body is doing all the work for you. Your body is doing all the living for you, right? It controls your heart, your breathing, etc., as I said. So neuroception is the coolest feature of the best piece of technology there is on the planet, which is your nervous system. And your body scans basically is wired for looking for danger and threats. Your body is wired to scan your environment, and it has one question in mind, because I do think it's like a separate entity, and until we integrate it, we really struggle. But your nervous system has one question in mind: am I safe? So for your body, it's all about safety. You can have your goals, you can have your ambition, you can have your story or whatever, but your body wants to keep you safe. That's one of the most important things that you will ever learn about the nervous system. And the whole theory that I teach, it's the science of safety. And I'm going to show you a picture of the whole foundation of what I teach. This is your brain and this is your vagus nerve, right? This is basically your master system, your CEO, that you probably until now you have been working against, not with, right? So getting to know your CEO, getting to know your boss, getting to know what your body is actually doing for you and why it's doing certain things, it's a crucial thing, and that's going to change your life. I truly believe that. So safety. So there you go. You wake up, you do your thing, and your body scans everything. And obviously you have your normal perception. So everything you watch, you listen to, your body interprets as either a threat or a reason to connect. And it responds to your environment, to where you are, how you move around your day, and then sort of processes that information and gives you a response, okay? And I really want to focus on your mental health here, because obviously I could go a lot of different ways, but people are obsessed with their thinking and their rational brain, and that's an error in thinking, in understanding this. So it produces this, you are a sort of walking threat detection machine, and your body thinks, okay, you're unsafe. Okay, and in the past, that would be a tiger that is chasing you. But there are a million different things going on in your nervous system. And in today's world, things that you normally do every day can make your nervous system feel unsafe. But I want to talk about the behavioral stuff as well. So there you go about your day, you wake up, you do your thing, and you do too much or not enough because your nervous system has needs and you don't know them. And this is why your brain goes haywire, because this is anxiety for you. This is the mechanism behind your anxiety or your depression. Your nervous system thinks, I'm unsafe and I need to do something about it. So it reads the information, it reads the sensory information of the environment or people around you, other nervous systems. And it's not really the words at all. That's why no one ever calm down when you tell them to calm down when they have a panic attack. Because your nervous system doesn't operate with words, it operates on the basis of experiencing safety, not just talking, oh, you're safe with me. No, you're not. Like, it's unconscious, it's electricity, it's emotion, it's the feeling. Because as I said, your nervous system is a feeler, not a thinker. So your body decides that you are unsafe. And then what happens? And then it sends the information to the brain that you're unsafe. And it does it in two ways, only two ways, okay? It either gears up for fight, flight, freeze and fawn, but we're just going to focus on fight or flight. Or it goes into depression, which is collapse, right? Depending on your temperament, personality and circumstances, it needs to get out of danger. So it goes into like, I'm going to fight with this or I'm going to run away from it. Okay, and that's anxiety for you. So fight, flight, freeze and fawn, but that's freeze and fawn. We're going to leave it for another time. Or it hides. That's depression for you. It has decided you are unsafe. There are a lot of dangers around you. There's some kind of threat. So it needs to get you out of this and into safety. That's the difference between being safe, social, connected. There's another mode in there, but we're going to leave it for another time. But it's all about responding to the environment. It responds for you. That's why you think, oh, I'm just going to be calm and I'm just going to be friendly. No, your nervous system makes a decision. Unless you obviously learn about it, befriended, supported, etc. Right? So that's why it's very important to know all those principles, that your mind only interprets what happens, but your body sends a signal into your mind and into your brain. And we're going to talk about what happens in your brain in part 2. For now, thank you very much. Like the video, comment on the video, and let me know any questions you have in the comments. See you next time. Never give up on yourself.